South Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. French Hill.
The gentleman from Arkansas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And let me thank my friend from South Carolina for the time, and of course thank my friend Mr. Phillips for leading the debate on this important issue. Once again, we gather on the House floor in unity, Republicans and Democrats, to counter Putin's behavior. Last year, I co-founded the first Congressional Task Force for American Hostages and Americans Wrongfully Detained Abroad with my friend Ted Deutsch of Florida. I want to thank Representative Stevens for being one of the first members of that task force, and that's why I rise in strong support of my friend Haley Stevens' resolution, which calls for the release of Paul Whelan, who is in fact unjustly imprisoned in Russia. We've heard today in the debate some of the details of Paul's arrest and nearly 2 years in pretrial detention, with evidence publicly presented justifying wrongdoing. All parts of our government, especially the members of Congress who directly represent the families of those held hostage or wrongfully detained, must engage with friends and enemies alike to ensure that Americans in situations like Paul Whelan's are expeditiously brought home. Further, Congress must continue to engage with the administration in situations like this to disincentivize the wrongful detention or hostage-taking of Americans. Last year, we passed a similar resolution on this floor in support of Trevor Reed and Paul Whelan. Therefore, it was in fact rewarding this morning to learn that Trevor was released. But he should have never been held, and the exchange of prisoners should have never been necessary. But today, Mr. Speaker, on a combined basis, Republicans and Democrats, let us issue a message to Paul Whelan. We have not forgotten you. And let this message be clear that countries that engage in political hostage-taking must stop the disgraceful practice and be held accountable. I urge all my colleagues to support Representative Stevens' resolution, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Arkansas yields back. The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Michigan,